Hi, welcome to Vicky Signature. Sorry, long time no video. So in today's tutorial, we're looking at how to cut and sew this beautiful, simple shirt dress that has a collar and a front pocket. So if this is the first time you're seeing this channel, thanks for stopping by. And to my returning subscriber, thanks for always sticking to this channel. So let's get right into the video. So for this tutorial, I'll be making use of this fabric. It is 2 yards and I think 19 extra inches. So let's get right into the video properly. So for us to do this, I've gone ahead to fold our fabric into two. So for you to be able to fold it, you're going to divide your hip by 4, which is a hip that is the widest measurement that I'm going to be working with. So hip divided by 4 plus extra 4 inches. Yes, so that is what I'm measuring there. So the hip I'm working with is 38. So when I divide 38 by 4, I have 9.5. Then after that, I added extra 4 inches and then cut it out. So we'll be working with this piece. So for us to start, I'll be ruling 1 inch from the upper part to serve as our margin line. So after ruling that 1 inch, I'll be starting my measurement right from there. So I'll be measuring from the margin that I ruled, which I just said now. So I'll be measuring the length of the dress. So the length of the dress I'm working with is 36 inches. So let's go ahead and mark 36 inches. So this is our 36 inches. So I'll be adding 2 inches for folding. So altogether we'll be making use of 38 inches. I believe you understand. So the length is 36. I added extra 2 inches to make it 38 for us to fold it very well. So that is what I'm doing. So the first one is the actual length, and the second measurement is the inches, 2 inches allowance we added. So after measuring that, we're going to go to the upper part and then take our basic measurements. So now we are going to be measuring our shoulder to bust point. So the shoulder to bust point I'm working with is 10 inches. So but before that, let's put our shoulder measurement. Shoulder I'm working with is 16. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. I'll come down by 1 inch to serve as my shoulder slope. So this is just a basic body that I'm trying to draft. So I have a tutorial on how to draft a basic body. So if you don't understand what I'm doing, you can watch that tutorial to get it in very much detail. So at that point, I'll come down by 8.5 inches. That is to say, from the imaginary line, I am using 8.5 inches. So what I did was the bust I'm working with divide by 6 plus 1 inches. I believe you understand what I'm saying. So at that point, I'm going to rule a line straight up. Then I'll mark the midpoint. So the midpoint of what I'm working with is 3.75. Then at that midpoint, I'll be going in by half of an inch. I believe you understand. So from that half inch, I'll connect it upward straight. And then after connecting it on that imaginary line where we have our chest line now, I'll be putting the bust measurement. So the bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches. So that is the 9 inches that I just marked. Then I'll take our small curve to connect the points together. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So we are going to connect it from that half inch down to the bust measurement. So guys, after connecting it, this is what we have. So now we are going to be putting our shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, and then shoulder to the length of the dress. So that is our shoulder to waist that I mark, and then we'll be marking shoulder to hip, which is 25 that I am using. So after that, I'll go ahead to take my straight rule and then extend the line to the end of the dress. So the one I just marked is a hip line, and then this is a waistline. So the upper part is going to serve as our chest line and then the bust point. I believe you understand. So now let's put our measurement properly now. So on the bust measurement, I have 9 inches, which is 36 divided by 4. But then we are going to be making use of the hip measurement, which is 38 divided by 4. When I divide that, I have 9.5. I'll be adding 3 extra inches. Yes, I'll be adding 3 extra inches. So after doing that, I'll measure all what I have there. So at the end of the day, I think I have like 12.5 or 13.5 altogether. So anything I have there, that's what I'll mark at the hem of the dress, and then that is what I'll be marking at the bust point. That is to say, it is same measurement we are using for the hip waist and down to the hem of the dress. So after that, we'll take our straight rule to connect all the points together, just as you can see. The gown is a straight gown, so anything you use on the hip, that is what you are going to use on the down of the dress, and then even on the bust points. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So after that, next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be working on the neckline. So I'll be making use of 3 inches by width, and then the length is going to be 1 inches. Yes, it's going to be 1 inches. So after making this like that, I'll take our small curve to connect the point together. I believe you understand. So after connecting the point together, I'll take the straight rule to join the shoulder slope. I believe you can see it. So that 1 inch that we came down by, that is what we are connecting. So that is all for the drafting of the back, or that is all for the marking of the back. So next thing, we'll be adding 1/2 inch all the way around in order for it to serve as our sewing allowance. So I've added 1/2 inch on the neckline, I've added on the shoulder, and then that is the 1/2 inch I am adding on the armhole. I'll add it down to the end of it. I believe you can see what I'm doing. So that 1/2 inch is going to serve as our sewing allowance. So for the bodies, I don't need to add anything again. So let's go ahead to cut. So guys, this is for the back that we just cut. So for the front, we are going to be folding our fabric again into two places, just as you can see. So in this folding, now we are going to be using same measurement for both the back and the front. But for this case, what we are going to do, we are going to add extra 3 inches. There is a button at the front, so now that extra 3 inches, which is going to be cut on fold, is going to serve as our button allowance. So from that extra inches, that is extra 3 inches, that is when we'll be marking our basic bodies. Now I believe you understand. So this is what we have. I think at the end of the day, I have like 16 inches, because the first one we got 13, so this one we have like 16 or 17 inches fold. So now after arranging it properly, next thing is for me to mark my 3 inches from the place that is on fold. I believe you can see that I'll be marking my 3 inches from the up down to the hem of the dress. So let's go ahead to mark the 3 inches. So after marking it, what I'll do is to pick my straight rule and then connect all the points together, just as you can see. Now after connecting the points together, so we can now differentiate between the back and then the front. So this is now the back. We'll just go ahead to place the back properly, starting from that our 3 inches line we mark. I believe you can see it very well, because the excess of that 3 inches now is going to serve as our button allowance. So it is same thing. I'm just going to pin everything together and then trace out the edges. So after tracing it out, we are not going to use same neckline for both the back and the front. So what I did was I made use of 3 inches for the length of the front neckline, then I extended the line to the button allowance. So next thing is for me to go ahead and cut the neckline. So that is the only difference for the neckline. So guys, let's go ahead to start our sewing properly. Now this is the front. I've gone ahead to divide it. So next, now we are going to be working on the pocket. There is a pocket. So for us to do that, you're just going to measure from your shoulder down to your waist, or you can just make use of 18 inches. So for this particular one, I made use of 18 inches. So once I came down, then I went in by 6 inches. So it's from that 6 inches I formed the pocket. So guys, this is what I have for both the two pockets. Yes, for both the right and the left hand of the fabric. So I'm going ahead to cut this little piece of fabric. So next thing we'll be doing is we'll go ahead to iron it so that it lay properly. So after ironing it, this is what we'll be using for the pocket. So this is not a hard task, so that is why I'm very fast in this part. So I'm going ahead to iron it properly. Can you see? Yes. So next thing now is for us to place it on the point which we have marked. I believe you understand. So after placing it, we'll go to the sewing machine and sew it. Then after sewing it, we'll fold the mouth of the pocket. So guys, this is our pocket sitting pretty. So next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be working with the button area. So on that button area, what I'll do is I'll cut paper stale on it. Yes, paper stale, or some people call it paper gun. I'll go ahead to iron it. So after ironing it, I make sure I put that line so that I will know where to sew when I'm going to sew on the sewing machine. So I made use of 1 inch, so I'll go to the sewing machine and sew it. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. Can you see our front piece is ready? So let's start by joining the shoulders together. So join the shoulders of the back to the 2 front piece. Yeah, so let's go ahead to join the shoulder with 1/2 inch we added earlier. So guys, after joining the shoulders, this is what we have. Now we are going to be working on the sleeve. So I've gone ahead to cut this sleeve. Yes, I dropped a tutorial on how to cut a basic short sleeve. So if you don't know how to cut it, you can go and watch it. So I'm gonna have to cut this sleeve. So we'll just place it right side facing right side. We'll pin it and then we'll sew it down to the end of the clothes. So anything I do here, I'll do to the other side. Then I'll fold the hem of the sleeve. Then I'll bring it. So guys, after doing that, this is what we have. Can you see? Yeah, I told you this tutorial is a very simple tutorial. So next thing, now we have gone ahead to fold our front and back piece together. So let's go ahead to mark out where we'll be sewing. So we added 3 extra inches while we were cutting. So yes, so from that 3 inches we'll be sewing 1 inch from inside. So what is left now is 2 inches extra on the body. So let's go ahead to sew. So guys, after sewing it, I think we are almost done. I've gone ahead to hem the down of the dress. So what is left now is our collar. So for us to do that, we'll go ahead to measure the round neck. So let's go ahead to measure it. So guys, after measuring it, I think I have 22 inches. I believe you can see it properly. I'm gonna have to cut this piece. Then let's go ahead to rule a margin of 1/2 inch. Then we can be able to cut our collar properly. So for the first layer, I'll use 1.5 inches. So after doing that 1.5 inches, I'll mark it. Then for the second layer, I'll use 2 inches. You can go as far as 2.5, but I think I'll be making use of 2 inches, then plus 1/2 inch for sewing. So that is our 2.5 that you can see there. So I'll go ahead to also rule it. So this is our collar we are cutting, so please pay attention very well. So now we know we divided our round neck by 2. We have 22. So there, half of it, that is 11. That is what I just marked. Then I added 1/2 inches for sewing. So after that, we are just going to rule that line straight down. Yes, so this is just our round neck now. So we are now going to form the collar shape. From that second line, we'll go in by 1/2 inch. Then after that, we'll come down and go out by 1.5 inches. Then we'll connect it slantly like this. Then after connecting it slantly like that, we'll just use our chalk to chalk it out. I believe you can see what I'm trying to do. So that is all for the collar. So let's go ahead to cut it out. So guys, after cutting it out, I'll be cutting exact same thing again. So before that, I'll just go ahead to trim the part that I'll be connecting to the neck small. So after that, I'll just go ahead to place it on a new piece of fabric, and then I'll cut exact shape of the collar. You know, the collar, we are going to be doubling it. Yes, we are going to turn it. So we'll go ahead to cut it. So we now have 2 collars, right? So next thing we'll be doing is we are going to bring our paper stay and then iron it on it. So guys, after ironing the paper stay, this is what we have. I use pieces of paper stay, so sorry about that. So next thing now is for us to sew the collars together. So let's join them together and then mark where we'll be sewing. So from this edge, we are going to come down by 1/2 inch. You see, I didn't mark from the upper part, right? I didn't mark from the upper part. I came down by 1/2 inch. Then I use my pen to mark it down. Then from that part, I also mark it down to the other edges. Yes, I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So after that, next is for us to go to the sewing machine and sew it. Then I'll bring it. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. So let's go ahead to notch all the edges so that when we turn it, it will turn properly. So let's turn it and then iron it properly. So guys, after turning it and ironing it, this is what we have. I think our color is sitting pretty already. So let's go ahead and connect it to the main shirt, the main shirt dress, right? So now we're using one edge of the collar to merge with the this thing, the neckline. I believe you can see what I'm trying to say to do. Yes, one edge of the collar, one part of the collar, sorry, to the neck of the shirt dress. Then we'll go to the sewing machine and sew it just as you see me pinning it and then demonstrating. After sewing it, guys, this is what we have. It's left with the second part of the collar now. So what we are going to do, we are just going to push the first one we sew inside. Then we'll be folding this with half of an inch. Then after, when we fold small, we sew. Can you see? We fold again, we sew. This is so simple to do. So when we fold again, we sew till we are done, then I'll bring it. So guys, after doing it, this is what we have. That is all for the collar. It's so simple and it's so easy. So if you don't understand it, you can still watch it again and you understand it properly. So next thing now is for us to fix our button. I've gone ahead to what? I bought this button, I think 500 for 6 pieces. I mean 6 pieces. So I bought 6 pieces. So I'll be placing the button using 4 inches of space difference. So that is all for this tutorial. I believe you understand it, and then see you in my next tutorial. Bye.